All right, this is episode 5. I made it back to the house. Here's the driveway. There's the house. Now I'm going to go up the hill. I'm going to go ahead and video going up the hill where if I don't go out on my walk and get a signal, I go up this hill right here and I'm going to video. Right here's all the marks where people have come down that driveway and dug right into the road there so you can see how steep it is. All right, I'm going to go up the hill here. Now, when I get around this bend, I'm going to be huffing and puffing. So, now, one thing that's a little tiresome or boring or, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Whenever we go anywhere, we go to somebody's house, we go to the ocean, place to play or wherever, we go to see some scenic scene. Anytime we leave the house, we're on the road for anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes up to an hour, hour and a half every day, no matter where we go, no matter what we do. You know, it's anywhere from a half hour to an hour, hour and 15 minute drive. And that gets, of course, then we got to make, when we're all done with what we're doing every day, then it's another 45 minutes or hour back here to the house. So that has gotten pretty old, but you know, the scenery's nice. Try to relax, try to enjoy the ride, and deal with it. Okay, so we're around the curve. Now we're starting up the hill. There's a hill where I just got through walking that's about half the size of Paul and Anna's hill. This one gets a little closer, not as steep, but about as long as the hill there at Charleston. So anyway, the reason I'm videoing this is kind of get you an idea where I have to go to get a signal. I can either go up this hill or I go clear to the end of my walk. And that's how I get my signal. So we're moving up the hill. I'm going to pan over here. I'm going to get that house right there. I'll tell you a story about that house here as soon as I catch my breath. Actually, I can tell you a little bit right now. Once I get up the top here where I can make a call, you know, I'm kind of looking around for some place to sit while I check on my email and stuff. So, there's no place to sit. So I'm walking up and down the road while I'm talking and dodging the cars coming by. But this house right over here came into play about the second or third day that I was up here. I'm almost to the crest here. The first time I walked up here, I was just curious. But they had some tree guys here, and where that gap is, right there, used to be about 4 or 5, tall trees, kind of like that one. And they were in the process of cutting those all down. So those are all gone. And up here, where this little car is on the left, is about the top of the hill. So any place from like right here to where that car sits, I can get a signal. But if I'm walking up and down, here comes a car right now. But if I'm walking up and down the road talking on the phone, I'm not paying any attention. And that's when I about get run over. Okay, so this is the walk that I have to take to make phone calls, etc. So now this house down here, we'll go back down here. So there's this house up on the left here we're coming up on. And I'm kind of looking at it. There's no cars in the driveway. There's no lights on. And a lot of these houses are rental houses. They're vacation homes and they're rental houses. So I'm looking at it. It doesn't look like there's any life. So I troop up and I'm not going to now. I troop up that driveway, look around, don't see anybody. Then there's a sidewalk going to the front door with a rail fence, and it was just perfect for me to sit on. So I sat there, made my phone calls, and all that. Got done, came back down, and went back down to the house. Well, that evening, or maybe it was the next morning, I can't remember, I came up, and this time I just trooped right up the sidewalk, went over to the rail fence, sat down, and I called Jara. Jara answered the phone, and just about the time Jara answered the phone, I heard another female in the background, and I thought Jara was maybe at the store, and there was a customer in the store talking to her. So I said, well, Jara, wait a minute, and all that, and I kept hearing this voice, a female voice, and Jara said, no, there ain't nobody here, and I kept hearing this voice, and finally I said, somebody's talking to me, and I'm looking around, I don't see anybody, and I said, well, where are you? And she said, I'm in my house, and what are you doing in my yard? So there was somebody in the house, and I guess I scared her. And I tried to, in like 10 words or less, explain to her why I was up in her yard sitting on her fence as I was hurrying out and coming back down that driveway. So I learned my lesson there. All right, but anyway, so this is the hill I climb to get a phone signal. And you can see, I'll take a little picture. Well, you've probably seen some pictures on our hikes, but these trees are not just pine trees, they're spruce or something, big trees. And they're beautiful. And the whole country is beautiful, the part that we're seeing. I'm not talking about Portland, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful country, high hills, big trees, foliage everywhere. And if it wasn't any other time, I would really, really enjoy it and appreciate it, but I just can't get into it. And so anyway, I'm going to head back down the hill, and this will end my morning, and we got to go in, clean up, and be out of here at 10 o'clock. And then we'll be heading to Ron and Jeanette's, say goodbye to everybody, head back up to the motel. We'll spend the night up there by Portland somewhere, by the airport. And we'll head out, Lord willing, in the morning, noonish. Be back in St. Louis around 5:30, I think is what the plan is. So I'll probably be calling somebody before we leave. But that will end all the videos. Episode 5 is out.